Hey, Jett, talk about your night and the threes, but also your pass to your brother.
Yeah. My night started off, I didn't hit every shot that I wanted to hit, and I let up a few threes on defense. So I kind of got down a little bit, but I just stayed the course. I didn't get too high, didn't get too low. When it came to my brother, I saw him in transition. I saw Kobe on my left, and I was like, I was trying to penetrate to the middle to see like who's gonna bite, and Jason's man bit. I threw it to Jason. His feet wasn't really set, so I was like, I don't know if this is gonna go in, but when it went in, we were super happy. We talked about it at halftime too. So.
And you've done that your whole life, obviously, but how special was it to do it tonight?
It was a great feeling just to see him happy and joyful about it, and like, yo, bro, like that's crazy. Like that was like a Howard to Howard play, and it meant a lot to us. And we're probably gonna look at it back in a few days too, and I'm probably gonna hear about it from my mom when I get home too. So yeah, that's awesome.
Jett, that sequence you had late in the second half, they'd gone 12-0 run. You guys checked back in. I think you went on 8-0 run by yourself, a couple threes, block. Just walk me through that.
At first, Kobe brought to my attention that on a certain play they were overhelping on Hunter. So I was in the corner, and he was like, bro, just stay in the corner, I'm gonna hit you. So that got me open on my first three. On my second three, I was just in rhythm, and I felt like I had a pretty good chance of hitting the second one. And then on the defensive end, I just tried to move my feet a little bit. Didn't want too many film sessions with Sadi, so I just had to get that block. So that's what went down.
Jett, I know you played with really good players before you got to Michigan, but as far as someone like Hunter, where are you in figuring out how to best blend your skills with his?
When I first got here, I was trying to get him the ball a lot, and I just got a lot of turnovers. So he kind of just brought me to the side and let me know like some of the reads I should look at, and told me to calm down a little bit. And he makes it easy because he brings so much attention. So I'll probably get like open drives like I got tonight, and once they overhelp on me, I'll just dish it off to him, and he just makes it easy. It's not too much thinking out there. It's just reading, reacting.
Anything else for Jett?
Hunter, does it feel like the spacing's a little bit better on the floor now this year when you've got the shooters on the floor that you have?
Yeah, I remember the first double team that I got. I kicked it, I think to Kobe, and then Kobe swung it to Joe, and my first reaction was like, don't do that this year. We definitely have a lot more shooting at all four positions, all five if you include me. But yeah, no, it's definitely a big difference from last year. I think the guys who came back put a lot of work in, and then we did a great job of finding guys that fit that mold for us that will help us in our offense.
Hunter, where do you think this team is in figuring out the lineups and best groupings out there, and how long do you think that'll really take to solidify?
Yeah, no, we're still work in progress. We got a lot of new parts, and so like you said, there's still that figuring out phase. But I think we got a good little mix of guys that are able to be plugged in and out. A lot of guys that are very versatile and able to play many positions. So I think it's just a matter of guys knowing multiple spots. I think that's the biggest and most important thing for us.
Hunter, it looked like your coach reserved his most intense moments on the sidelines for defensive matters, especially to the younger guys. Do you think that'll be a point of emphasis this week on just clearing up some things?
Yeah, no, he's always big on defense. His philosophy is always like, I'm gonna let you rock out on the offensive end as long as you just are able to guard your man and be in the right spot. That's big for him, is being able to guard on the defensive end. He always talks about two-way players, and that's I think that's something that came with him from Miami, is that defensive mentality. And so that's always something that he's been big on, and especially for the younger guys who are still trying to make that transition of being that two-way player for us.
Hunter, Joanna was just saying that during TV timeouts that he wouldn't be talking much in the huddle, that he kind of passed it over to you. What were the sort of things that you were saying in them?
Biggest thing was us, getting matched up in transition. I think that's one thing that we're probably the weakest at, is probably that transition defense. That I think we're buddy running a little bit too much with our man instead of getting back and our philosophy in transition is, you don't have a man. It's just, kind of a get back and try to figure it out on the fly. And so for us, we just got to do a better job communicating, spraying back, and then, making sure we don't have a man, but just find the closest guy to us and, try to get back and have that pack line defense.
How much of the adjustment would you say, like, on the fly is from you guys as players? Like, we can't really see from the press box, you being down there, but, like, how much is it you guys leading it?
It's a lot, especially, when the other team misses. It's mostly on the fly, like probably 80% of it's on the fly, between me or the point guard, figuring out, what we see out there and what we think's best. Obviously, coach has, a huge say in it, but he really gives it up to us, leaves it up to us for that transition offense off misses.
Do you feel like that leads to a lot of, like, experimentation? You guys can kind of be creative with it, or?
He gives us the what's the word? He gives us like the mold for what we want to do, and we can experiment in the mold. But he gives us, like the system, and we're able to kind of experiment within the system, I guess.
Hunter, what do you like best about Joey Baker, other than maybe feeding him with long outlet passes?
That he can shoot the ball. I think, you saw that out there tonight. He's a floor stretcher, somebody that, commands a lot of attention, makes it easy for me out there on the floor.
Hunter, do you like when the tallest guy is, 6'8" out there, but then they're swarming you and kind of being real physical, or would you rather go one-on-one with maybe someone closer to your size?
I do like the one-on-one. I would prefer that, but, you can't get it right every time. Just trying to have that mindset of, whoever's out there, trying to dominate them as much as I can. That's probably, the mindset that I go into every game. Try not to look at, the size of the defender, because that guy was obviously, a good big. He's somebody that, I remember watching film last year on preparing for him, super active, and somebody that, I try to not have him, or not try to match his energy, but have him try to match my energy out there. So that was a big, important thing for me, and I think I did that out there.
Coaches probably weren't thrilled with the rebounding tonight. How I guess, important is it going to be for this team to get better on the boards, defensive boards?
Yeah, we're probably a little bit, more undersized from last year. Obviously, we have Musa, who's 6'10" in there with me, so, that made it probably easier on the defensive boards. But, I think that's just us, still being new to each other. We just got to keep focusing on boxing out. That's something that, we'll address in the coming days, coming up on Fridays, that boxing out, making sure teams don't get as many second chances as they have. That was an emphasis at halftime for us.
We were talking about making their big, trying to match your energy. How about the rest of your team? You really set the tone early. I think 8 of the first 11 points. Was that where you, just trying to set the tone for your team, I guess, as this leader?
Yeah, I was kind of upset with how I played on Friday. I thought I played bad. People told me that. I didn't play too bad, but I just hold myself to a high standard, and so I was kind of down on myself after the Friday game, and I'm just, glad that I was able to come out there. I know something that was a big emphasis for me was coming out strong, and I was really glad I was able to do that out there. My teammates put me in great positions. They were obviously so unselfish, getting me the ball in right spots and stuff like that, so I'm just very appreciative of them for helping me out.
Is the Jett Howard we've seen in these 2 games indicative of what you see in practice every day?
Yeah, Jett is a guy who, has probably more of an unorthodox game. He's somebody who can just fill it up offensively. He's a natural scorer and somebody that, knows how to put the ball in the basket. I think that's probably, his biggest strength is just being able to get a bucket when you need. And so I think he's definitely put that out on display so far.
When you say unorthodox, what do you mean by that?
Just like he doesn't have like a certain move, I'd say. Like, he's got people call it like a bag. I think he's just got a lot of, like, he's not like a robotic player, I'd say. He's more like just natural, go with the flow, and so talented that, he's able to kind of do, many different things out there.
How do you see your role on offense change when Jett gets hot on the floor there?
Yeah, I'm not a selfish player by any means, so, Jett's somebody that, I'm really close with. Him always coming around the facility for all the years that I've been here. So we definitely have a relationship, but that's with any of my teammates. I mean, if you're hot, we're going to try to feed you every time, until you get cold, because, I would obviously expect the same thing from me if I'm hot. And so, if Jett's got it going, we're going to try to find him as much as we can, because, that's going to benefit us. It's going to benefit me and benefit the rest of the team, and to win. So definitely try to, if he's hot like that, he scored on a couple straight possessions. And so, we definitely try to make it a priority to get him the ball when he's hot like that. Okay, Hunter? Thanks, guys.